Hi guys, it's Marissa here, author of The Rise High Investor. Thanks so much for tuning in to one of my weekly investor video tips. As you know, I've been investing for a long time and I'm very passionate about property investing, so I love bringing you these weekly videos. So today I'm going to be talking about how to maximize and increase your borrowing capacity. As a property investor, having access to finance, having access to being able to borrow money to achieve your property investment purchases and goals is absolutely crucial and essential in terms of getting you to where you want to be. So lending has tightened up. In 2018, we have seen things change in the lending market. You know, it is getting harder to get money from the banks. So that's why it's really important that you're doing everything that you can to put yourself in the best position to get access to the finance that you need to be able to build your portfolio at the speed that you want to build it at. So here are a few little tips and hints on what you can do to increase your borrowing capacity in the short term. There's lots of things. I don't have time to go into all of them today, but I'm just going to give you some of the really simple ones that you can do straight away that will make a big difference. So first one, get rid of unused credit card limits. So if you've got a credit card that has a limit of $10,000 and you only ever spend $2,000 to $3,000 on it every month, reduce the limit down. When you are getting assessed for a loan, the credit card limit of your credit cards impact your borrowing capacity greatly. So reducing those credit card limits will have a big impact on how much you can actually borrow. The same goes for personal loans, car loans, things like that. Definitely try and pay them off, get them down. Getting those limits down will make a big difference in your borrowing capacity. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is try and avoid buying interest-free things. So, you know, you might go into a furniture shop and that might say 12 months interest-free or whatever, you know, whatever it says like that. But that really does a lot of damage to your credit score. It really does a lot of damage to your credit history. And doing things like that can be detrimental to helping you get investment loan finance when you're looking to buy a property investment. So please try and avoid things like that if you can. Instead, put things on lay-by or wait until you've actually got the money to pay for it up front. The other, you know, I guess along the same lines is watch your credit inquiries. So a lot of people don't realise, but every time they do like a credit balance transfer on a credit card, or they go and buy one of these interest-free things, or maybe they inquire about a mobile phone plan, you know, things like that will potentially result in a credit inquiry being lodged on your credit report. Now that may not seem like a big deal to you, but now what happens with the bank loan applications is that most of them, you know, in most instances it's a computer that decides whether you will get the loan or whether you won't in the first instance. And, you know, you can easily get declined for a loan just because you've had too many credit inquiries on your credit report. So if you have shopped around and, you know, got lots of credit inquiries on your credit report, and when I say lots, you know, 6 can be considered a lot over the last sort of 3 or 4 years, then that can significantly impact your ability to get a property investment loan at a good interest rate. That also applies for pre-approvals. So whilst, you know, pre-approvals are definitely a good thing and do have their place, particularly if you want to buy at auction or, you know, things like that, if you are shopping around with banks and shopping around with pre-approvals, it can actually be quite detrimental to your credit score. So really watch out for that. The other thing that's really important is to be clear on your living expenses. So now many of the lenders need a full breakdown of what your living expenses are. So it is a really good exercise to actually really review your living expenses and know what they are and see it, you know, that might also be a good opportunity to see if there's anywhere that you can cut back, any areas that you can cut back on your living expenses to put more money into your savings and more money into your investment goals. And the other thing I guess as well is, you know, it is really good to, as an investor, to focus on your rental return. So if you can find cheap ways to increase your rental income, that might be a little bit of cosmetic reno, or you might be able to do a little bit of work for the tenant to help lift the value of the rent and lift the value of the property. Things like that can help to increase your borrowing capacity, because obviously if you're getting more rental income, then that can help to boost your income overall and help to increase your borrowing capacity. I guess another thing is that if you are over 50, you do really need to have a clear exit strategy. So what is your plan? How long are you planning to work for, and what is your future going to look like? So that's something that you can talk about with your mortgage broker to make sure that you put yourself in the best position moving forward to enable you to meet your investment goals. So there's a few little tips. I guess overall, I would encourage you to use a mortgage broker rather than go directly to a bank, because a mortgage broker has access to multiple lenders and will often be able to find different options and different scenarios that suit different circumstances, whereas a bank can only offer you their particular products and policies, which is quite limited. So that can also help. Just using a mortgage broker in itself will definitely help you to broaden and expand your borrowing capacity and help you to buy that next property sooner. So that's actually all I've got time for today. I hope you found value in this video, and I would love to answer any of your questions or comments. I'll personally reply to any questions or comments that you send through, or either submit below, or you can email me personally at propertyinvestor@risehigh.com.au, and I'd be really happy to hear from you. I want to say thank you to the people that have been emailing their thoughts and comments through. Really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. And as a special thank you for tuning in today, you can actually grab a copy of the book for half price at the risehighinvestor.com.au website. And all you need to do is enter the code video2018 to get your discounted copy. So thanks for tuning in today, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.